52 seconds of spooky logos. Comcast. This movie really wants you to focus on keys from here on out. The title, the keyhole in the title, the keyhole in the gate, and the fact that they're in 5 Keys, New Mexico. I mean, goddamn it, movie. We get it. Also, after 20 seconds of keyhole imagery, no one actually uses a key in the keyhole. Also, why did the series go away from the chapter titles they used in the previous 2 sequels? This girl is drawing Slender Man wrong.
They're frying someone, Pop! You're on the Hades Express, mister!
Quiet. Death is nothing to celebrate.
Josh Stewart looks about as interested to be in this movie as I do to be watching it.
His name was Wayne Fisher. He was 32 years old and he killed a lady with a hammer. He had a ribeye for his last meal.
She's fun.
Elise, I thought I told you to put all these toys away.
Demons f***ing with the family by making random piles with the kids' toys because everyone remembers Poltergeist fondly cliché.
He was a little boy. He lived here a long time ago and he loves playing with our toys. I swear.
I believe you.
Sweet, now she can blame anything on ghosts.
Do you ever think about the people who go to the electric chair?
How could you think about anything else? These are more f***ed up living conditions than District 9. The never-ending race in the spirit dimension was going strong back in 1953. Of course, in the spirit dimension, it was closer to 2153, but we do know that it was us that scorched the sky. Oh, that's her brother.
I'm not in the closet.
Because that's where the Conjuring ghosts hang out. Now, this is one of those split-second jump scares that have you running out of the theater yelling, "Demons are real!" to the frightened concession workers. But look at this guy. He looks like someone who got kicked out of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles because he didn't fit the color scheme. You didn't know the Turtles were racist? Well, it was 1953, so...
No!
You think the franchise creators just have a checklist of what they have and haven't done in this series? Beating a kid with a cane? Check. This. And this. It feels like loud noises are the only thing this movie has going for it. Brick Tamlin would be proud.
Are you scared of the dark? Who is that?
Ghost laughs for pretty much no reason other than it was a sound effect that the sound guy had in his cliche arsenal of horror sounds volume 1. In the first 13 minutes, there's been more key play than the entirety of Saw 3, which held the record for the last 13 years. It was a good run while it lasted, Saw 3. So the demon tricks Elise into opening the door, it fumbles around with the key for a bit, Elise's eyes go into the back of her head, Mom comes down to check everything out but is hanged with broken electrical wire. I'm not sure what the demon needs with the key, but Mom's dead, Elise is special, got it. You know, California, that really small state. Should be pretty easy to figure out where she is from that information. Tucker, keeping the mullet alive in 2010.
I need help. I wish I could help you, but I really can't. I have to help this man.
Does every Insidious movie start with Elise saying she can't do the job, only to do the job within the next 2 minutes?
This one I have to do alone.
Were Specs and Tucker just waiting around the corner for Elise to throw her suitcase in the car so they could make this dramatic entrance? Movie blew its subtitle budget on cocaine and party hats, so they saved money by filming actual state signs. Oh man, this hanging ghost in the rearview mirror is in terrible taste, considering that's how Elise's mom died. Where the f*** is Specs sitting? It's starting to look like Lee Winnell had a clause in his contract that if Angus Sampson was in a scene, he also had to be in it, no matter how ridiculous it looks. Nothing says take my ghost hunting company seriously like a logo that looks like it came from a Scooby-Doo knockoff in the 70s.
Before we go inside, I brought some clothes for you boys.
You mean after you told them that you were going to this house alone, and they showed up in this truck and basically forced themselves into this adventure, you just walked back into the house and got them some different clothes before you left? Or bought them on the way there? Why didn't you just tell them that before? Or make them bring different clothes?
Some of it belonged to Jack, and it's very important to me.
Well, luckily both of these guys are exactly the same size. Also, who watched the previous Insidious movies and decided they just had to know where Specs and Tucker got their indistinguishable and uninteresting clothing?
Just keep it between us from now on.
Juxtaposition jump scare. Juxtaposition scare? Did this guy raid a local church for all their Bibles to build this Bible border wall? Or did Elise's family own and leave 116 Bibles at the house? Foreshadowing the King James Version.
The camera's so we can see what she sees from out in the truck. We call it the Winnebago Ghost.
Since they just purchased this truck, one would assume this setup is 100% new. So how have they had time to call it anything? Even if a lot of the furniture and items were left behind, was the place not clean before being shown to potential buyers?
My mother got this from my brother, and he lost it
When he was 6 years old.
Woman who knows for a fact ghosts and demons exist really thinks that her brother lost the whistle. And even if he did lose it, you mean to tell me nobody looked under the bed?
Safe now.
Yes, no human dead or alive can crack the security provided by Elise's bra.
Elise.
There's someone right in front of you.
I don't see anything.
Even though Elise is usually the one that sees the ghost, she conveniently can't see one when the movie's gone a whole 3 minutes without a jump scare. This ghost takes the whistle from Elise, which means pickpockets these days are getting really sophisticated with their techniques.
There's someone in the laundry.
Girl who always gets in trouble when she tells her dad that she sees ghosts decides to tell him that she's seeing a ghost again for pretty much no reason other than to show how much of a dickhole her dad was. Ah, Kmart!
He just looks so much like someone I know very well.
She hasn't seen her brother in 50 plus years but somehow knows these are his daughters?
I was stupid to come back here.
No, you weren't. You're helping people.
But is she? We're 42 minutes in, and there's been plenty of melodramatic and awkward scenery, but very little with the helping, and way too little of the insidious.
Tucker,
Yes.
do you have the still frames that we printed?
Yes, I do.
Tucker somehow knows this is the specific photo Elise wants, even though she didn't ask for a specific one.
You give this to your dad. Oh, I think he will be very surprised to see it.
And oh yeah, I'll neglect to mention that a demon stole it 2 minutes later. So my brother, who already hates me, get his hopes up, then I'll dash them if he decides to ever talk to me again.
When I was a child, I saw a red door.
And you wanted it painted black?
Remember when I went into the further to find Quinn Brenner?
You know, the last film where actually happened. Wraith woman wets whistle with wailing winds.
Whistle once for yes, twice for no. Are you the woman I saw last night?
Well, damn. If you can use that whistle, surely you can just talk, right?
Are you that entity?
What exactly is the criteria for whether or not an entity is lying? Does Elise have her own whistle lie detector test ready to go whenever she goes to inspect a house?
Is what you want to show me behind this wall?
This is the spirit dimension's equivalent of using caps lock during a tweet.
Keys.
Movie feels like it has to show us every painstaking detail of every action that takes place. Movie still cuts away from Elise running to show Specs f***ing around with his glasses, so why can't we just get a couple quick cuts from her saying keys and then showing back up with them? Which one of these generic old-ass keys will go into the generic old-ass keyhole? This one, of course. Foreplay. Look, if the ghost made contact with Elise and figured out the whistle communication thing, why did she just leave the whistle on the f***ing ground and make Elise play a point-and-click adventure game? What a dick. I mean, isn't that what she's trying to do? Also, to be fair, Ghost Girl probably just saved Elise from getting whatever f***ing disease you get and totally deserve from blowing a whistle you picked up off a floor that hasn't been cleaned or swept in at least 50 years.
That's not a ghost.
Then why did she appear as a ghost earlier? Does the rude Samaritan ghost have some sort of projection powers that show living people as spirits in other parts of the house? That is a very specific f***ing power. If you're telling me that that was some completely different ghost earlier, then this movie has way too many dead women who look exactly alike haunting this place.
I'll break the chain.
No, you won't.
God damn, dude. If you're gonna kidnap young girls and hide them away, wouldn't you have tried to stop this long before your secret was out? Specs looks for a weapon rather than simply running somewhere to call the police. This is exactly what Insidious fans have been waiting for. A chase scene in the dark, not involving one ghost or demon. Alright, dude is incapacitated. And... man, that's like actual murder and stuff. Also, somehow I feel Specs will get over brutally murdering Ted quickly so we can get on to some hot Insidious The Last Key action. However, this movie's pacing is insufferable, so the rest of the movie could just be 40 minutes of Specs in therapy and I wouldn't be shocked. Also, pretty sure this movie should have just been titled Lee Winnell is a hero and awesome because he wrote this shit. Seriously, we're a Lee Winnell with two hot girls threesome away from this just being a vanity project disguised as a shitty horror movie. But hey, it's the fourth movie in a franchise. Who's paying attention at this point?
Can you stick around for the next few days?
We'll be here.
I'm gonna have to get statements from all of you.
You couldn't just get the statements tonight? Captain Plot Device seems to be on Insidious 4 time.
Gotta find it. A little whistle, a little silver whistle.
Yeah, about that. Elise never told your daughter that the whistle was missing again. Wouldn't the photo lead you to believe that Elise still had it? Also, is Christian even aware that the homeowner died? And isn't this an active crime scene? How did they even get in the house?
Why would Garza invite you up, knowing the risk that you might discover Mara?
Detective Whitfield must have used this Sins video to help with his investigation.
Or maybe he wanted to get caught.
Can a ghost just show up somewhere other than behind another person for a change? How many ghosts and demons in this series suddenly materialize at someone's back shoulder? Who knew the Temple of Gozer was located in our deltoids? Don't mind me. I'm just filling in my calendar with all my events and appearances. Gonna be opening for Beyonce on the 28th. Ah, the old hide my demon claw underneath a sheet on a table so I can slap the shit out of someone with it later routine. Classic. Oh no, the demon's going after Elise's niece. Why didn't he do something like this before, when there was a girl locked in a room down here? Did he need Elise's nieces, Reese's Pieces, Lisa's Ceases, Alicia Keys? Movie takes an hour and 2 minutes to Insidious The Last Key, punching a keyhole in a human neck. Holy shit, that scene just gave me tinnitus. How about you guys? You hear that too? Guys, I figured it out. This demon isn't evil. He's just trying to unlock the mysteries of the human heart. But he's doing it too literally. Someone needs to teach this guy about metaphors stat.
What happened to her?
There's something evil in that house, and now it has taken your sister's spirit, and I'm gonna find it, and I'm gonna finish it tonight.
Damn, Elise, you're going to throw that shit on a young girl about her sister and then just walk away? Spectral Sightings doesn't believe in hugs?
I can see things too.
I'm also an actress who isn't famous yet, so I'm perfect to keep this franchise going into the 5th chapter and beyond.
Come on, boys, let's get our things and get in the house and get started.
How does this kind of thing work? Elise was hired by the guy who kidnapped a woman and locked her in the basement, and now he's dead. Can you just go into a dead man's house where 2 crimes just occurred and keep doing your work?
I need things that were important to Garza.
We spent 1 day with him, but goddammit if it didn't feel like I had known him for years by the time Specs murdered him. I feel like I know everything that was important to him, Bibles and kidnapping. So let's get as much of that as we can. Chop chop!
There is a Bible he held very dear to him. It was a red King James version.
I know this Bible conveniently fell off the stack of Bibles earlier, but are you telling me there aren't at least 3 or 4 other King James Bibles in this stack that match this description?
Well, I get the death chamber. He gets Bible camp with the most beautiful girl on earth. That's not...
Guess you should have written the script, Tucker. Why are they looking for this Bible here? There was a whole stack of them outside the locked room they went into earlier, and this isn't that room.
Can't all be work. Gotta enjoy yourself. Go out on dates.
Specs keeps it classy by hitting on the girl whose sister almost died earlier that day.
She wasn't dead.
Insidious 4 seems to be widely addressing a previously unforeseen issue of ghost hunters not being able to differentiate between a ghost and a woman who has been kidnapped, tortured, and needs help. Sure was nice that the suitcase Elise needed was in plain view from inside the room, while all the other suitcases were stashed here where no one could ever see them.
You weren't the only one, Anna.
Does she think Anna doesn't know this, or does she think the audience doesn't? Demon waited until Elise opened 3 suitcases, and the movie gave us a false jump scare to finally jump out of nowhere. What kind of sixth sense bullshit is this? And if they touch, will a puddle of Ron Silver goo appear?
Where am I?
You're in a special place where the spirits go.
Nice. So does that mean I'm dead or what? I'm 11, so you need to explain this better.
You have to go on doing what you do.
So could she possibly change the past? If she told young Elise, bitch, you better stop chasing ghosts, would older Elise disappear and be married to that guy who used dominoes in the second movie?
He's standing right behind you.
How did she know that, since he didn't appear until now? And if you tell me it's because she's psychic, I will remind you that the older and more experienced version is psychic too, and didn't know he was there.
He's on the other side.
Well, somebody has to go in and help her.
Yeah, who's gonna do that? I can't do that. Would you like to do this?
If there was ever a moment in the Insidious franchise that needed these 2 assholes f***ing around and comic reliefing everywhere, it's when their boss is trapped in the Further, and they need to hypnotize her niece to go after her.
When I say now, you will open your eyes and you will be on the other side.
Maybe Tucker was just being nice to let Specs try to hypnotize Imogen, but with time being of the essence and why didn't he just do it in the first place? I'm always shocked when I see that the Further has television sets, and that they can even display static. Not the best cable package in the world, but still better than Comcast on a handful of days in the year.
I'll help you.
The Further has tour guides now? That must be an interesting interview process. So the Further Demon's grand plan was to f*** with Ted so that he would hopefully call Elise for help, she would discover he was torturing women, and then she would be able to cane her dead zombie father. This adds up. Is this movie really saying that if Elise goes all Return of the Jedi Luke Skywalker on her spirit world dad, that she'll go to the dark side and be this monster's puppet? Do I have that right? Imogen Ex Machina!
Father was your puppet.
It's a good thing Elise has seen the Saw movies, so she can have these random out-of-context conversations come back to her in the most convenient moment to help her solve the Further demon mystery. Yeah, I'm a demon. I slap people when I'm angry. You want to slap about it? Holy this Insidious movie is Return of the Jedi.
I'm sorry.
So what? Does this guy go to extra hell now? Or the just a little further? Wait, why would she have the whistle? The last we heard, her dad found it just before her sister got attacked. So he just gave it to her after that? That's pretty convenient. Why don't you blow the whistle? Demon picked the wrong time to savor this finger key thing that he does. But mainly, what the f*** does this finger key thing actually do? Oh, it's a dead mom whistle. Also, assuming this is supposed to be the whole personal item saves you in ghost movie this item was personal to Christian, so it should not work for Elise.
Hands off my little girl.
I mean, is this seriously how they're gonna win? The Ex Machina whistle calls in an Ex Machina mother, and the movie just Ex Machinas the f*** out of the demon that we never understood? F*** you, movie. Remember the first movie in this series, which was so much better? Well, f*** you. We're gonna make you keep watching this one. Movie tries to retroactively explain some bullshit from the first movie, and I'm sorry, I'm not buying it. In the first movie, after he fell off the ladder, we heard some noises, and he looked somewhere off screen. But there aren't any noises here. If you're gonna explain some shit like this, at least replicate what happened.
Return to your body. Go.
Outstanding, they were able to find the hospital in the Further with absolutely no roadmap.
Oh, Dad. Elise. She saved me.
Way to make your dad feel like for being mad at his sister after he's been by your bed this whole time terrified you were gonna die.
Keep helping people.
Why does Elise need to keep helping people when there's an obvious demon-slaying badass lurking around in the Further? Elise's mom is the hero the Further needs, even if she's not who it deserves. What the hell, dude? And by the end of the movie, Tucker says,
He gets the girl, I get the ticket.
So did Specs really get the girl? Was there really romantic tension between those two? What the f? This is the most contrived romance since Hermione and Ron. Oh, hell yeah. This movie is setting up what will likely be the best movie in the franchise. Cannot wait until 2010 when it comes out.
You must chill! I have hidden your keys!
Now dive through the keyhole, Scott. You charge big, you dive small, then you emerge big.
They're frying someone, Pop!
He's frying now! He's frying now!
Open this door. There'll be lots of light.
Can you smell the circus, Georgie? There's peanuts, cotton candy, hot dogs.
I came across a red door.
I see a red door and I want it into black.
Open this door. There'll be lots of light. Crossover, children! All are welcome!
Christian!
Testing 1, 2.
Check. 1. Check. Sibilance.
Is that you?
No! I know who you are. She is lovely, isn't she?
He's behind me, isn't he?
Maybe she's born with it.
Maybe it's Maybelline.